everyone. This is the Air Conservation Commission meeting. It's Thursday, July 10th, 2025. Commissioners in attendance this evening. We have everyone here tonight. I'm very excited. Jeremiah as member. We have George Bacon as member. Jess Gugino, member clerk. Mark Phillips is our vice chair. Heather Hampson is our conservation agent. John Schmallenberger, chair. Do we have confirmation of agenda?
Yeah, there's no changes to the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay.
Yeah. Had to get that in there. Aye.
Passes unanimously. Approval of the meeting minutes for June 26th, 2025. Everyone have a opportunity to read the minutes and scour them for errors.
Just want to direct everybody's attention to page 3, public input. The first item, Mr. Chair, if you could read that loudly.
Oh, I love
Wait a
that.
minute, what, say it again?
The first item under public input, the first bullet.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, I think our recorder needs to hear it.
Our omnipresent voice from the ceiling meeting recorder Barry Schwartzel announced, "I got nothing." Is that what you wanted me to read?
Yes.
Okay.
Barry, you've been noted.
I still got nothing. But it's something.
Any other comments or changes?
I have a question, possible change in the section right above that, the office and member updates. I just want to clarify, it says that a small patch of green algae was also spotted and removed, and I don't know if that means like something else was spotted, like take out the also, or...
Well, the previous meeting, we had discussed the small patch on Flanagan Pond.
Okay,
So it was sort of...
so it was also in Sandy Pond?
Yeah.
Okay. Just figured I missed it. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Motion to approve the meeting minutes for June 26th, 2025 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed
Aye.
nay. Passes unanimously. I need to give you more time with your yays.
I'm good. Oh, this is mine, right? These are mine. Yeah,
All righty. First.
These to be signed already.
these are mine.
Oh, okay.
First item this evening, continued public hearing notice of intent, DEP file number 100-0499. At Bly Street, 0 Bly Street, for the site cleanup, clearing regarding building renovation, stormwater management system, compensatory flood storage within the buffer zone and the 100-year flood plain. Good evening.
Good evening.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Elizabeth Clark, and I'm with GPR, the civil engineer for the project.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but I was not available to go on that site walk. I really wanted to go on that site walk. Good walk?
Yeah.
Informative? Yeah. What do you have for us?
Yeah. So, at the site walk, I think the big thing that was found was a series of turtle nests, just on the inside of the buffer zone. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a pretty sandy area, and a variety of nests and shells were seen. So understanding that, we had previously gotten your comment to incorporate more habitat into the buffer zone, and after seeing the nests on site, we took a different approach than we initially were going to. We had talked about loaming, seeding, creating a pollinator habitat with other native plantings, and we've now peeled that back, and we do want to maintain some of the sandy area. That's what the turtles like. That's what they're going to nest in. And then we put a series of like tall grasses around them. We did keep some of the plantings that were proposed, in that area. We do have some closer to the tree line, red maple, silky dogwood, and then we have the little blue stems and black huckleberry and sweet fern kind of to give us our turtle habitat. We've also put in a series of boulders along the 100-foot buffer, just immovable boulders that will signal, you know, this is the resource area, or the buffer zone, I should say, and not to go further encroaching into it. Other changes, so we did get all of our town comments. We've been working with the planning board. They had their site walk last week. I can't remember the day.
It was the first.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So they had their site walk last week. We've gone through their comments. We did not meet on Tuesday. We are figuring out the process of review for the area use limitation on site and the soil management plan with DEP. I did have a conversation with DEP Tuesday, and I think that we are set to, we're on the same page in understanding what will happen with that. We got DEP's comments as well, and have amended the plans for those. So they had asked about wetland forms, and the response we got from our wetland consultant was that, you know, this was a very clear break and slope on the bank, so they didn't use the BVW delineation forms. We were asked about the stormwater basin going in, if that volume was considered as part of our comp storage, and it wasn't. It's all below that elevation. And they also asked for wildlife habitat and evaluation as well. We've moved our temporary stockpiles outside of the 100-foot buffer zone. And we've provided groundwater recharge calculations as well.
You mentioned that you're going to save some of the sandy area for the turtles, or all of it?
We have some of it.
Should we change the different plans? Or do you want, if you want
Can I just like circle?
Yeah. It just so you know when you go to do it, what you see on here is delayed up there.
Okay,
So
so
if you
it's this area in here that we have preserving the sandy area.
And then below it not?
Yeah, below it we have the sweet fern vegetation as well as the huckleberry in this area, and then a few trees as well. But we are open to input on this, and we can work through what we think is best.
Were there indications of turtles in that?
Oh, the whole area, the whole sandy area, yep. Yeah, there was the majority of them where there was a few where the plantings are, and that may be for whatever reason. I think it was further away from where the turtles could get out of the pond. The majority of them were closer to the berm, which is at the edge of the plan. That's where the majority of, that was where there was a larger concentration of turtle nests. And that's the other thing we could figure that was probably why. Was because that's probably where the turtles were coming out of the Grove Pond was probably in here, because it was a more gradual slope. Yeah, so the majority of the nests were in this area here.
And that's not being touched? Correct.
Down under phase 1, and that's what this
Yep.
approval is limited to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here you can see the limit of, okay, I'm looking here. It's the limit of work. So the planting areas is going to be in here, and then we have this is where the edge of the grading is. So there's nothing proposed in this area, correct? Yeah.
For phase 1.
For phase 1, which is all we're approving today.
Right.
Or we're talking about today is phase 1.
Directionally, is that south?
That is west.
South is
West.
the pond.
You get
It's
the
west.
arrows in there.
The arrows and the
So what would be the?
so this area, this is west.
Yeah.
This is east. This
So
is
that's
south.
the north west.
and this is
corner.
north, yeah.
The grasses that you propose to put in, are those gonna just stay clumps, or they're not gonna spread and become?
Yeah, that's to give them a little more shelter.
So they're not gonna spread widely.
Oh, I mean, in what you're seeing, because we
Yeah.
saw them so early, that those were all dug up by predators.
Right.
So they have two purposes. It's a nesting area, which hopefully we get some baby turtles, and it's also food for other animals.
Yeah, yeah, it's still an okay thing. You're right.
Are those the only changes?
Let's see.
I can pull up the plan set too if you need me to.
I have. I'll just run right through the list. There were changes to our existing conditions plan. The planning board had asked that we show the debris piles
Yeah.
more clearly,
Yep.
and the DPW had asked that we show the water and sewer, the municipal water and sewer more correctly. So we did update those to accommodate that.
What was the first one?
The stockpiles that were closer to
Yep.
Bly Street.
Yep.
Okay.
We were, let's see, what else was there? We were asked to also show the existing monitoring wells, so again, existing conditions change that we did make. And then,
Do you know what sheet the monitoring wells is on?
we see 2.1.
Just gonna pull that up. Because if you remember when we were on site, the monitoring wells was basically right where we were seeing the turtle nests. Basically, they were right at that area. So maybe we can see that.
That was one of my pictures, had the,
Oh dear. What? I can't navigate. I hate computers now. I liked it so much easier when I was younger. There we go. Okay. I don't mean to make anybody sick trying to look at this, so don't look at the screen until I find it. There we go. Okay. So monitoring.
Yeah,
Yep,
you're right there.
monitoring well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you looked at it, what, with this, and if you did the overlay, so with the monitoring well, so everything they're proposing as far as planting goes and limited disturbance is where those nests were. And we will request that there's signage. I haven't drafted anything yet, because I wanted to make sure we had the opportunity to speak, review everything, but, thinking of conditions for approval, if that's where the commission would go. Obviously, I know there's boulders plan on the plans, we'd also ask for the signage. As discussed, mentioned during a site visit, that we would, most likely thought we'd limit the, work that could be done outside of turtle nesting time, in that area, so we'd make sure we limit that as a condition on the site as well.
You got boulders, is there gonna be signs as well?
Yeah, we'll make the condition that there's signs.
what would the signs be here?
We can have some sort of, we can probably, I think it'd be best to have them say, wildlife habitat area, outside of just the limit of, no disturbance, but, wildlife habitat area.
When you said you saw a variety of nesting sites, do you just mean a variety of different types of turtles, or were they all?
Look, so for one, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I had covered it for me. I still wasn't able to walk it this time. So can I defer to you guys on what I saw when I went out with the planning board was a variety of sites?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we saw.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if
Yeah.
you have magical powers and you could
No.
snapper.
Painted red
Maybe
slider,
more
yeah.
appropriate to say a multitude of types versus a variety.
Okay.
Is that kind of what you mean? Like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of
Thank
them,
you.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a lot of them. Correct.
So, John, I'm sorry, are you done?
Jump right in.
So I'm still stuck on the where the compensatory volume is being gained. I'm not understanding why we cannot pull back from beyond the 100-foot buffer and instead move into that northwest corner where you see some vegetation just to the south of the building in front of the berm.
Oh, here? Oh,
Correct.
pull this out here and go this way?
Yeah, so you're gonna be grading all this out supposedly, planting stuff in there, but yet you're leaving this alone. If I'm reading the map correctly, this is basically 228 feet here, so you're gaining 2 feet in elevation from the existing site here, whereas here it's about a foot. So anything you dig out here to gain the compensatory storage, you're gaining 2 feet. You're gaining double the amount of storage compared to what's being dug out here. And then in addition, it actually goes up to 231 feet here. So from here to here, it's another 3 feet increase in elevation. So again, the amount of volume that you'd have there by pulling these lines back into this area should more than offset what you're doing here, or at least
So it has to
greatly
be
offset.
1-to-1 incremental, right? So if I fill at 222, I can't just comp at 226. I have to comp that storage at 222. So I have to make sure I pull it back gradually so that the floodplain function isn't altered. So when we did this, we looked at the whole planning process, what they're gonna do for phase 1 and phase 2. And for phase 2, we are pulling it back further, as you can see on the plan that we provided. So we're taking this and then we're gonna be pulling it back, and we will need all of that room to
What do
come.
you mean by pulling? What are you pulling back? Can you?
The
show
flood storage, so,
I can show you that.
yeah.
Phase 2 plan, which is, I think, the last one in the set. Come on.
So you were saying you can't just like make it deeper here.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
You have to do it incrementally. That's how the Wetlands Protection Act requires you to do it whenever you're bordering land subject to flooding. You have to do a 1-to-1. So you're making sure that you are still, the floodplain functionality is still there. Because if I filled at 222 and I comped at 226, my floodplain's at 227, you have to get up a lot higher before you're utilizing that storage. So we want to have the floodplain function as it is. And on top of it, we are in a regulatory floodway as well. That's at 226.9, so even more sensitive. And we did submit a no-rise certificate with that. So this is our phase 2 grading as well. And so in phase 2, this is when we're coming back, we're building contractor storage units to the left-hand side of the page, which you can't see right now.
Yep.
And filling a bit more in the area closer to Bly Street, so we are comping even more over in this area. Yeah. So we looked at this in a phasing. Yeah, in a phasing perspective, so what we touch in phase 1 won't be altered again when we come back and do phase 2. I think if we had done it coming in the other way, I think it might cause us to retouch work.
You're saying right below where it says 11 parking spaces on gravel. Okay, so that's 225.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, in phase 2, this line is 225. The
Right.
existing grade is 230.
Yep.
When you're looking at what's proposed now for phase 1, the limit of work is basically even beyond this
Right,
point.
right. Yep.
So it's all of this additional grading that's going to occur within this much within the ACEC and everything else.
And why is that actually being done if you're not utilizing
For the additional work over
phase 2?
for phase 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So phase 1, the real goal is to clean up the site, get putting in a gravel pad for equipment storage. Phase 2, they're coming back and building a multi-unit contractor storage yard, which does require that we pull the building out of the floodplain, as well as some upgrading in the area. So this was when we set our stormwater basin and when we were evaluating where to put our flood storage. This is what we were looking at, you know, both sets of the work, so that we could be efficient with how things were done, and then again, not retouch things as we move along.
Is this building there?
Mhm, yes.
That's gonna be renovated and used?
It's used now.
Mm-hmm.
It's used now?
Mhm.
What capacity? What's in there now? I'm sorry, your business. Oh, I'm just curious. I mean, I was just wondering why there's all those parking spaces.
So that was, I think, more of a zoning demonstration. They don't really use them. We were just showing that based on the size of the building, we could provide the parking.
Site plan, they have to, they're required to approve
Yeah.
to provide parking, given the size of the building.
But we have no intent of striping gravel. That just wouldn't work out. And when I've been out there, it's just been a couple like dump trucks sitting in that area. So it's used, it's not busy.
Is what?
It's not busy. There's not
Yeah.
a lot of activity going on, but I think the idea is to revitalize it eventually and have more industrial use, well, more storage there, contractor yard storage.
I guess what I was trying to get at is that you're gonna put boulders, you're gonna put signs to keep people out of that resource area, but if it's just gonna be storage, equipment storage, there's not gonna be people walking around there anyway, is there? I
When
mean.
we were out there, it looked like people might go down and have a drink by the pond.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little evidence of that.
Okay.
Or have had done.
Yeah, and I think going forward to whatever goes on in that building, whether it gets leased out or if the contractor yard gets put in, whoever's in there might, you know, oh, look, there's a pond, and, you know, walk down. We want to, yeah, we just want to make sure that people are aware that that is a habitat area.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
I'll go back to this one because I like this one better.
You don't expect anything new, revisions with the planning board?
No.
Okay.
No, they really, their comments, I think we beefed up the pad, the gravel pad at their request, and again, it was really a focus on making sure we were representing what was out there now.
Well, I'm good.
Yep, no, I'm good now. I forgot about the phase 2 aspect of it and how that was needing the additional, that they were getting into that anyway, so, yep.
Heather, you got thoughts?
Oh, I do. I appreciate Liz for giving the overlay plan. I think it makes it a lot easier to see what's on site there and what they're proposing. I did double check all the plantings that they are proposing on there to see what soils that they grow into. I don't think some of them might have a little struggle to survive in the sandy soils, but we'll see. Again, there's nothing out there now, so I think anything that we try is a benefit. If it doesn't grow and it dies, something will use it for a nest or eat it. So, I mean, there was deer tracks out there, so I'm sure some of those grasses are going to make it very long anyway.
What kind of track?
There's deer tracks.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Yes, I don't think those grasses will make it very long anyway, but we either fed something or we protected something, so that'll work. So I think in regards to phase 1, I think we have everything we need. I think we mostly just need to make sure the commission, that we go through whatever conditions we want to put on the site in regards to trying to protect that habitat area. I appreciate Liz mentioning that she has responded to DEP's comments. The majority of them, as it were, in regards to calculations for stormwater. And then just the one to make sure that, which we are, the habitat, making sure we can exercise the right for the habitat part, which I think we're doing with some of the conditions we're putting on site there now. So I just want to make sure we go through those, and I know we incorporate those in the order for next meeting.
Okay.
If the commission has any ideas for, outside of my suggestions for additional
You got the signage.
signage.
What was the other one?
Limitation of work outside of nesting times, turtle nesting time, which I believe is what, April
To
something
November.
through June. Yeah, late April through like mid-June. Which we might bump it out a little earlier, just because due to climate,
Yeah.
the nesting, I think, happens depending on how warm it gets a little bit sooner. So we'll limit the work in that area outside of that.
Okay. Any other thoughts on conditions?
We address snow removal.
We haven't, was there any condition on there for where the snow storage or snow plowing was gonna go, given that you're adding a parking area there?
We have a site owner's manual, operation and maintenance manual for our stormwater
permit.
BMPs, and part of that, it's what standard 8 with the Mass DEP
Mhm.
stormwater handbook. We are required to develop a long-term pollution prevention plan, and that addresses snow storage, where it says it can't occur within the basin or within any of
Flood.
the buffer zones and.
Yeah, I think the main concern maybe with this parking area here, is there, I think, is the snow gonna be pushed over here and stored in this area?
I think it has to be pushed down, so if you remember when you're out on site, that's kind of high up, and
Mhm.
there's boulders
Mhm.
along that edge.
Yeah, it
so
does
you
go
can't
up.
just, like,
Yeah, so they're gonna
push
have to
it
plow that
up.
way? Okay,
You have to go down the hill towards Bly Street.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
George, are you thinking about some sort of condition in regards to salt or sand on site too, limitation of salt as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, given it's a gravel, I don't think
Yeah.
salt would be very beneficial at that point
Yeah.
anyway. So we can definitely put that condition as well about limiting, salt in the area for.
So if the gravel gets frozen, it's gonna get pushed. Probably when you're plowing anyway, a little bit.
So the snow's gonna be pushed downhill towards Bly Street.
From that one area, because it is up high and it does have boulders on the edge as a safety for vehicles. Like, different type of guardrail. So you wouldn't be able to push snow off of it.
Anything else? Rachel, do you have some thoughts?
If it's okay, I'd like to ask some questions.
Please join us.
Hello, Rachel Kozera. I just had a question with regard to, I was just doing some research about GPR Incorporated, the folks that will be moving in here.
That's my firm.
Oh, that's your firm?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh,
We're civil engineers.
So
and
are
we're
you-
surveying.
oh my
I'm
gosh.
representing the client. I'm
Yeah.
not moving there.
Yep.
I'm like a block down.
okay. So I thought it was, so you deal with like global positioning radar? Is
No.
that?
No, GPR stands for Goldsmith, Priest, and Ringwall.
Thank goodness, because I started doing research about radar, and I was like, radar near the pond? Like, holy cow. Okay, so that's why I was all wild today. I was
No.
like, what's going on here? But okay, my apologies. I misread. That is, I mean, that was all I had, so
Okay.
sorry for the confusion.
No
but-
worries.
That was easy.
Thank you.
Oh, they all could be that easy.
Yeah, they could all be that easy. Anything else? Shall we go ahead and vote on the note, on the
I mean,
NOI?
you can vote to issue, I just don't have it ready tonight, because I didn't know how this was gonna go with everything. And obviously, And just so you know too, and Elizabeth, was the planning board is holding off, waiting for the DEP's, for the AUL, where the DEP stands with that, for what work can be done on site if it's allowed. There's also the condition through the planning board that I guess is before the town council in regards to if they can issue the decision with a condition on there. So there's some just questions that the planning board had in regards to how to condition the site in that AUL, just going forward. So
And
I'll
can you
probably-
remind us what the
area of use limitation.
area and use limitation?
So, I would probably suggest whatever condition they have on their, in their decision as well for that, we incorporate into ours as well, just so they're kind of mirrored and they match.
So
So
incorporate.
I will get that language for them, from Danny as well, in order to incorporate that in here, just so we have it mirrored and we're following everybody's other conditions in regards to that, because there is some site work in that, in the buffer as well.
Okay, all right.
That's
So we
it.
can vote on this and then
Sign the orders for the next meeting.
do the orders next meeting. Yep. Okay, if there's no more discussion, is there a motion to approve the notice of intent, DEP file number 100-04990 Bly Street?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Thanks,
as well.
Remote control for the TV, because that's what you need.
I do. Oh, okay, I can figure that out. Thank you.
I thought of it right when you
No,
said
that's
it. I know, you
okay.
just need a remote.
All right, I just have one.
Conservation Office.
Oh, Conservation Commission updates. All right, let's go through.
What?
We have to continue the
Oh.
meeting.
Oh, yeah, continue, yes.
Waiting for George on that one.
Wait for me. Motion to continue the public hearing, notice of intent, DEP file number 100-0499 until our next meeting, which is July 24th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Conservation Office updates.
Okay, I apologize, I'm just doing one thing real quick, because this
Yep.
is gonna be on our next meeting, and I just want you all aware of it.
We have something coming up at our next meeting.
We do, we have an RDA, that was filed for our next meeting for, 31, oh, I'm going out, 31, oh my God, I hate it. I turned it off. Oh, whatever. The 31 Willow Road, the Neshoba Analytical Building. Their roof drainage pipe collapsed, and they need to replace it. Their roof drainage pipe had collapsed, and they need to fix it and replace it. So I informed the gentleman to file an RDA. The one concern I have is there is a wetland in the front, and that is where the roof drain flows into. And now that I have it, I can show you on the screen. So we have the RDA. According to him, so all the work will basically be in the existing pavement until they get to the grass area. And that's where I just have a little bit of concern. So just so you know that it's coming for an RDA next meeting, or something to look at and think about. The longer we wait to approve it as well is when a large rainstorm might cause any sort of, I don't know if it's gonna cause any sort of erosion in that grass area where the wetland is, or not, but just.
How much wetland is
So it's just a small part in that grass area in the front, and I think it's more just like a low-lying area that created a wetland due to just grading issues. The thing is, there is a drain, obviously you can see there's a stream that goes, a culvert that goes under the road into another larger wetland, which then goes into another culvert, which goes to another wetland, which then eventually goes to, that pond where the pumping station is. So it's the beginning of a large connection. So it's not a big concern on this side, but it is attached to a larger wetlands. It is in a part of a larger wetland system.
Do you know where the drain is?
It showed up on a better one, so he basically stated it's basically in the middle, so it basically comes straight down in here. So they're gonna be working, whether we don't have it,
somewhere.
yeah, it collapsed somewhere, it was large rocks that basically blew out, that's how heavy the rain was coming down. I guess there's 4 different spots on the roof that all come into one 12-inch pipe, so it's a big pipe.
Wow.
Yeah. So he just needs to replace it with a new one, so it just, when he's mentioning it to me, I'm like, oh, well, it just sounds like an RDA, but I'm like, I don't know how much work's gonna be in that. I mean, obviously we'll condition it to have erosion controls, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention to know that's coming next meeting, and just give thoughts about it if you think for some reason we might need to make them file an NOI or not.
Where's the collapse?
The collapse, he said it was caused a sinkhole,
Yeah.
and that's how they found it.
Or not directly, but the parking lot, right where she has the arrow, must be
Yeah,
right in.
it's right in there somewhere. So, I don't know if the collapse was, if the sinkhole opened up in the grassed area or in the parking lot, but it's right in there. So it ends up being in the buffer. Whether, if we go on and say, realize it's actual wetlands or not, I don't know if it's actually in the wet. I doubt, but we're gonna be close. Yeah.
Pavement and kind of get to it after.
And I'm sure having that roof drain there helps, add water to make that wetland area there. But just so, I wanted to let you guys know that will be coming at the next meeting, just, and give some thought to it, just so you know when it comes, because I was, oh, it's easy RDA, then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know how close we're gonna be getting, so we'll have to hear from them.
Like a splash pad or riprap apron or something?
Yeah, I'm sure we will, I'm sure depending what gets proposed out there, we can always have them do something like that, 100% if it's underground. I'll see if I can get out. I'll give the gentleman a call and see if I can get out to the site before the meeting too and take a look at it, and that will help too, I'm sure. Yes, I'll get pictures. I will do that. I'll contact him and go out on the site next week and take a look at it and get some pictures for that. Now to some fun stuff. Pocket Forest Working Day, July 17th, next Thursday.
July 17th?
Mm-hmm. At the middle school site, over in Shirley/Devens, in the morning, 8:30 to 10:30, and again in the afternoon, I can't remember what time, it's 4:30 to 7? It got posted to the town's website if you want to see the flyer, or there's one outside the bulletin board, it's at the town clerk's office too, if you want to get the afternoon times. I'll be there in the morning.
And meeting where again, please?
We're at the middle school in Shirley for that Pocket Forest there. They're on Saturday, the 19th, a group is doing a tour of many forest/pocket forests in the central region, and they're making a stop here at the 2 sites in Devens. Yeah, 4:30 to 6:30. Oh, it's close. So we're just trying to neaten up and do some weeding and mulching at the school site to prepare for that tour of that group. The Newton Street Festival will happen this year, so we will have a table for that again. And I'm sure, given the start of the new Sustainability Committee, I'll kind of do a 50-50 with that and do the Sustainability Committee with that as well.
Do you have a date for that yet?
I believe it's the first Saturday of October, and Barry, who's the ominous voice in the ceiling, can verify that for me because he's on that committee as well.
He's asleep right now.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just letting you know now, so we have plenty of time for you guys to free your calendars if you want to come help or attend
Yeah.
the Newton Street Festival. I'm happy to see that back.
I'm sitting at the table.
Yeah, I have stickers this time that I ordered for the job fair that I never came in, so I have bugs and wildlife stickers, like for the water bottles and stuff, and then I'll get wildflower seeds again.
Oh, good.
Candy.
And candy, always have candy, but I'm gonna do more hard
Everyone
candy
likes
this year, because it's too hot for chocolate.
What date again?
I believe it's the first Saturday in October.
Okay.
Yeah, I should be able to.
Yeah.
I'll be a few weeks after
Oh, yes.
the old replacement, but
I can wheel you.
We can-
Yeah, and Sam said something about she's gonna try to see if she can get me next to the bug guy.
It's
The
good
what?
placement.
Yeah,
Oh, bug.
There's a guy showing insects.
insects, yeah, it goes well with conservation. Let's see, a couple other things. Matt, town engineer Matt Heron, got me in contact with a gentleman, Ward Baxter from Shirley, who does map creating. So in the fall, after the leaves fall, that's when he likes to go out. Bree and him are gonna go walk through Pine Meadow. Any of you others that are interested and have more of a background in that area than I do, I'll let you know when we decide to go do that, and he'll create new trail maps for us.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And he's also helping Mass Wildlife work on the trail maps for Stratton Hill, the mapping for them too. So this is what he does in his retirement. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'd like to go on that one.
Yeah. So yeah, we're waiting till the fall. He likes doing it when the trees are fallen so you can see more stuff.
Sure. Yep.
And his GPS works better too. Makes sense. So I've mentioned before, I was appointed as an associate member to the MSMCP board. We had our first meeting today, and I got a lot of good information out of that, including just if you guys want some fun legislation to read. The state Governor Healy is proposing a Mass Ready Act. Within that has I started briefly reading. It's 47 some odd pages. Different changes to legislation for adding funding for dam removal, invasive removal, culvert replacements, streamlining the appeal process for wetlands. There's changes to the wetland. There's minor changes to the act in there as far as that goes. And a bunch of other stuff to propose more construction in throughout the state. So I just wanted to mention it to you guys if you wanted to go through and read it. They are looking for, the state's looking for public comment on that as well. So if anyone wants to read it and have any specific thing that they feel
Can you
passionate about.
send us the link?
Yeah, I can send you the link. I mean, I just found it on the website, but I'll on the state site, but I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It's also known as the bond bill, but it's the Mass Ready Act.
Bond bill?
Yeah, the bond bill. It's a yearly thing, but this one they've changed the name and are calling it the Mass Ready Act. But I will forward you guys the link to that. July 24th, which is I think our day of our next meeting. That Thursday is lobby day at the State House for the Rodenticides Act. Mass Audubon is producing that. You can sign up for that up into that day. So if anyone is interested in that, to attend and go to the State House and help lobby for the passing of the Rodenticide Act that's been sitting in legislation for a while. And that would ban second generation rodenticides throughout the state.
Would ban second generation?
Second generation, yeah.
What did the Board of Selectmen just?
They did those ones on town property. This would be a statewide ban on them.
On all property.
On all
statewide.
property statewide. Then what basically, in order to be an applicator of those, you have to be specific licensed. They would just revoke those licenses and wouldn't issue any new ones. And you wouldn't be able to
Just
buy it
municipal.
everywhere, and you wouldn't be able to buy it in the state. So there's that. One other thing that came out of that, which I know it was been an issue in the past, and we haven't run into it here, but they make suggestions that full boards do not go out on site visits. That there's been case law that have come out that towns that when a full quorum of a commission or board go out on site visits, that they're not allowed to speak at all because any questions or comments they make are a violation to open meeting law. So they make the suggestion to either do 2 site visits to ensure there's no quorum, or not have a quorum of the commission go out at one time, or just have the agent go. I just wanted to mention that to you so you guys know what has happened in other parts of the state in regards to that. We've never had any issue here, but it only takes one for that to happen, whether it's this board or another one. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Because I spent that amazingly wonderful 2 hours on that open meeting
Meeting
law
law.
thing, and they said you could do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and there's been at least 2 towns that have lost open meeting law cases because of it. So
What happened when they lost?
I don't know.
Get sent to an ice facility?
I no. But so I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that it may be something that comes from an MACC conference at some point, or a direction from the state that makes that recommendation that we try not to have a full board out on site.
Or we just don't talk.
Yeah, or you just don't talk, you can't say anything.
Because you can get together as a full board anywhere,
Yes,
as long as you don't
say anything.
talk about business.
Mm-hmm,
You can talk.
mm-hmm.
But she said you can't even ask questions, so then.
Yeah, there was an issue, yeah, well, so that was one of the one of the case study that came out, that one was asking questions, and there was a whole talk, like, they're gonna ask questions, that's the whole point of the site visit.
Yeah. So I'm saying we have to take turns.
And they'll just pass it along.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's not a,
Just make it harder.
just makes it more difficult, just makes our job so much more fun, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Other than that, I said I have lots of notes here. The Sustainability Committee did meet, that was fun. So we had that first meeting yesterday. One of the things that I've want to do either with that or by myself with the DPW and possibly Danny is look at creating a tree bylaw for the town outside of just our tree policy, to have a town-wide tree bylaw. So hopefully we can get working on that and get something on that for within the next year.
And that would be just, it's not jurisdictional.
Not just jurisdictional. Town-wide tree, yeah, the removal of trees on property would have to be replicated it's not just, it would be more or less for when you're doing development on site. There's so many different variations of tree bylaws, and basically what it does is it takes over a certain caliber size of tree is what is counted, and then you have to do a replication of that, and then 3-to-1, 5-to-1 for shrubs, or whatever the town decides. If whoever, in some ones that I've seen, which is the way I like seeing it done, if you don't want to replant, then you donate, you give money to a fund, and then that fund is used to plant street trees or whatever other trees throughout town. It depends. I think it depends on how it goes. I think the majority of ones are more looking at developments more or less than if a resident, because as of now, a resident can just go and cut a tree on their property if they wanted to. It's a hazard to their house unless it falls into conservation. We're just like, yep, it's a hazard. You got to cut it down. And if you want to, could you please plant something? Because they can't always. Like I had the one on Oak Ridge, which I don't know how he could fit another piece of vegetation on their property to add even just a 1-to-1. There was so much on there, which I was so thankful for. So it's one of those, I think I'd have to go, we'd obviously do research on it to figure out how it would work in town. So, but that's just one of the things that I would like to see come out of, whether it's this office or the sustainability, because of how our tree warden, everything is thrown out of the DPW. This is something the DPW would have to work on, so we'd work with them. Because they're the ones that do that in town. But I think it'd be great just to have that, obviously that fund too set up for when we have had complete streets that don't have the trees included in there for whatever funding issues. We have that funding source already set up to have street trees planted. But we'll see. It's all about getting it written down and then getting it to town meeting and approved. So.
Would the Sustainability Committee have any input on like working with the DPW to develop a accurate list of, with zero sort recycling,
So
what
that's-
are the things that you can put
That's
in there?
that's one of the things when we met yesterday. The majority is public outreach. I've always had the concern that whether it's, I mean, obviously we have transfer station and making sure in that, because doing the pocket forest, which I'm sure John has seen too, and you're working on there, you go through the compost pile, you get God knows what within there, because people just throw it all in there, because no longer in their house, so they don't have to worry about it.
And you hear that like with zero sort, that like the black plastic things that have the little triangles.
Yeah,
We shouldn't put in
I
there,
think,
'cause then it will-
I think it's, we have that, the whole recycling issue. I think in regards to public outreach on that, which I've learned a lot of, is the whole, everyone just throws it in there and you do what's called wish cycling, that you're just throwing it in there going, well, I threw it in the right bin, so I'm fine. It's actually doing the education and realizing what actually is recyclable, what's not recyclable. Plastic is only recyclable so many times, and you can no longer recycle plastic because it breaks down and you can't make anything out of it, so then it's not. So
And
it's the education of it.
And the DPW site doesn't have anything that I've found that says the difference between 1, 2, 5.
Yeah, they think they don't have a thing, they take all of it. Some towns only take certain numbers. So I think as far as that goes, we want to focus a lot on education on that. A resident that's on the committee, he didn't realize that we had a compost at the transfer station, so he learned something. So I think just an education aspect of that, as far as the transfer station goes, with residents, is going to be beneficial. And the other one I'd like to see on that is, that works for people who have a transfer station sticker, but those who live in apartments or when we're doing site plans and stuff with the planning board or whatever new development, making sure we have both on site. We have a requirement that they have to have both trash and recycling. Again, we'll be doing that recycling on that aspect of it, but cardboard cannot be thrown away. In the state of Massachusetts, you cannot, it's illegal to throw cardboard away. You cannot go to a transfer station. You cannot throw away cardboard.
Wait,
Cardboard must be recycled.
okay, you can't throw it away.
You cannot throw it away.
But pieces, there's certain small pieces that go in the big thing that they collect, and then there's the specialized.
Yeah, it's cardboard clothing, mattresses cannot be thrown away. It's cardboard. It's again, these are requirements that DEP put in place, and then they're not followed. I think another thing in regards to sustainability committee is going through is maybe putting out there that people can look at when you're looking at recycling, trash pickup places. They get graded by the state for how well they follow the laws, and some do better than others. And being responsible, and as far as that goes, as an owner. And it's one of these things that you don't know unless you do it.
But I think, does our DPW say if it's a pizza box is no, don't they? Or somewhere says.
Yeah, a lot of you can't recycle them because of the grease and stuff in them. So it's one of those, so I think it's one of those things where, yeah, so like the whole cardboard thing as far as what the DEP, I just know you're not supposed to, so what the requirements of that are, I don't know 100%, but yeah, cardboard's not supposed to go. Clothing is another one, yeah, you can't throw clothes away.
You can't throw them out.
No, they have to be recycled. Textile recycling. So whether the DPW has these, I think they do have textile recycling at the transfer station. If it's something they don't have, yeah, then it's one of these things that we can look as a sustainability committee to do, textile recycling drives. There's companies that will do that and pay to have that done and have a textile recycling day where you can bring holy socks and everything like that to get, because you can't donate those, they have to get recycled. And do stuff like that. Yeah, holy socks. Ones that have been blessed by the Pope.
Is the recording of the sustainability?
Were the ones where the maid is missing?
Yeah, I don't know when it gets, but we did have APAC record it. Barry was nice enough to be here. And it was on Zoom, and I had that recorded too, so it should be on YouTube. I don't know how long it takes. No, it won't be on the town website until the meeting minutes are done and approved.
Oh, no,
That's-
I meant like the meeting itself, because I didn't see it on the calendar.
Oh, it was on the calendar, because I got the agenda off of it yesterday. So it was on there. So that's where we are with that. But just so you guys have an idea of what I'm up to and what's going on. There's that. Yeah. Anybody have anything else? Questions?
Are there any updates on 0 High Street and 38 Grant Carpenter Road?
Not before the board.
Oh, but we could get an update, would be interesting. Just to hear what they're doing.
Oh, they have a revised plan of 34 units It's still in the process of reviewing the stormwater and traffic study. If you remember, the conservation analysis, our recommendation, I made the request that we protect the buffer for that rock wall that was on the abutting property. That's now going to be owned by the proposed developer, and that will be part of the whole property, will be part of the open space, minus a small portion for a parking lot. So they're going to be taking away all the easements for the stormwater and the stormwater systems themselves. They're at 50.5% open space. All grading's been taken out of the buffer, so they're doing retaining walls instead of doing inside the open space, so they're doing retaining walls. That's the plan. They still have to do the calculations and stuff on there. They haven't finished all the engineering plans for the new layout. This is just on paper we made this. They haven't actually done the design out yet, but.
I was thinking the other day, can we, because they haven't finalized the conservation restriction for the open space, right? Or
No.
what the land is.
No, they usually do that last.
Yeah, can we make a request that the planning board, before they make a final decision on the CR, that they share how they're laying it out with us? Because Shaker Mill Pond, they did all those little strands which are
Mm-hmm.
useless. So
Yeah.
can they? If we could request
I'll ask Danny when he gets back from vacation.
that they share it with us, so that we can weigh in as whether we would accept it
Yeah,
or not.
I did make a comment at one of their meetings when they were discussing the density bonuses about allowing public access.
Yeah.
To state that before they decide whether to allow or deny that they should check with an entity that's allowed to hold CRs first.
Yeah.
Because you might have a hard time finding an entity that would take it if public access isn't allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how well received that was.
Yeah, but the other thing is, like, if they ever do again those little strips
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, I mean, it does make it difficult. There is, the draft plan of the open space now, it shows it in two parts.
Yeah.
The reason it shows it in two parts is because it took the easements out. It is going to be all quote-unquote connected, because it'll all be open space. It'll just have that strip out because that's where the easements are. They're not counting it, so it'll still be owned by I don't know who's going to own, whoever owns the easements for the developer or the HOA, whoever owns that. But there's not going to be anything in that easement for the drainage, right? So it'll look contiguous, even though on paper it's not.
Yeah.
You're right.
It may be cleared. It may have just shrubbery growing in it from whatever. But if you're standing in it, once it's all grown back up from the disturbance, it'll look contiguous.
Okay. Just don't want. So I was driving by Shaker Pond the other day, and it was like, yeah, those.
Oh, and
there's that fence with.
There's that fence and the town line.
Everybody's mowed right up to.
Yeah, right up to that. Just so you know, too, thank you for reminding me of that. I got to verify it with Anna Wilkins to finalize that. We're finalizing the contract with them to have them help with our CRs this coming year. That contract will include the monitoring of Shaker Mill Pond CR. Once we have the baseline done, which should be done, I think this is the contract for Conservation Works was next month. The baseline, they'll verify that and get that monitoring done for Curly Circle. They are going to work on and help us with the Kohler Place CR for that one, which is the end of Wright Road, along with getting all the properties at Pine Meadow in a CR, the Tuca property and Pine Meadow itself. So then we'll have 3 separate CRs for Pine Meadow, which the Autumn Ridge, the Tuca property itself. So I think those were I only try to give them small little ones to do, to hopefully we can get as much of that done as possible.
Well, we tried before.
We tried before, and that's why this one I tried. I mean, I've gone through, and part of it too is, I don't know if Anna herself will help, but she'll help and go through our files and make sure we have everything and correlate everything for us, so we have everything in order for all our CRs as well.
So the 3 would be Autumn Ridge, Tucker property and then the whole of
Pine Meadow, yeah, because Autumn Ridge and the Tuga property have to have CRs. Pine Meadow, I can't find anything that states that it needs one. It makes sense to me, we're the owner, we can't have a CR, we can't hold a CR. It makes sense to have North County Land Trust put a CR, have them put a CR on it, and then the entire portion of it is all CR, instead of having one to the north, one to the south, and then just random one, giant one in the middle without a CR. It just makes the most sense.
Oh, and it
Just
just,
agreed, she goes, no, that does, like, we don't legally have to have one, to me, it just makes sense to have one.
legally does, while human civilization continues, permanently protected.
Yeah, so, yeah, so that's why I made that suggestion, because everything I found on it, I could not find anything that required us to have a CR on it, but it just makes the so sense. So, that's it, all right, now I'm done.
Jen? Jess?
Two little things. One, can you contact the tree warden or the DPW? So behind the community garden.
Yes, I found that out yesterday and I completely forgot, there's a tree
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I mean, and it's impassable.
Yes.
There's a huge tree down, so you can't walk.
I'm going to email myself
So you know
right now
where-
to remind me.
Where the people used to dump the water chestnuts?
Yeah.
Right, like feet from that, there's a huge tree. You can't go further
Oh.
down. So it's a huge tree, multi-trunk tree.
Okay.
And then, do we ever do anything, at the corner of Snake Hill and Wright Road, that one property where they took down the trees?
Mhm.
And they were gonna cut them up into planks,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still sitting there.
They're still sitting, all right, I'll get a hold of Artie. I'll get a hold of
Is
him.
that something we want, or, I mean, it's,
I'll get a
Yeah.
hold of him, I'll see if I can find him and I'll get a hold of him and find out what his plan is with that.
okay.
I think the plan is what's there now.
I giving Artie, yeah, but I'll ask him if he can just give me something. Yeah, if he can just give me something. He's a
George,
character.
got anything?
She
Negative.
wants to make some nice wide pine floors in her house.
Beautiful pine trees they brought down.
Yeah, they were making a mess of the roof. That's why he took them down.
That was insurance companies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that if he didn't take them down, the insurance would have made them. So.
Insurance companies for replanting trees.
Or removing them.
Yeah, well, that'll go over real well. I'm sure people's premiums will go through the roof because I make that. That'll go over well.
Oh, you, Mark, you got anything for us? I don't either. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nay?
We're not a voting member.
So sorry.